Oh, hi there, brand builders. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Brand. Okay, today we're talking about a topic that really seems to be very boring, but is very fundamental to brand success, and that is competitors, right? So I wanted to really talk about competitors in the sense that, look, to be honest, most business owners, most entrepreneurs, most brand builders, they do know who their competitors are, right? So they understand who their competitors are. They have a pretty good idea of what's happening in the market. And of course, as they try and grow their business, they're always looking at their competition. They're trying to figure out what are they doing. What kind of prices are they charging? What kind of marketing campaigns are they running? And how successful are they in this market? And how can we then react to that? So they're usually in a reactory or reactionary mode. If the competition is changing their pricing, so we gotta change our pricing too. If they're lowering the price, let's lower our price. If they're offering discounts, let's offer better discounts. If they are running Facebook campaigns, let's run Facebook campaigns. Now this, yes, it works, and a lot of brands do that, a lot of businesses do that, and it's been the traditional way of marketing and looking at the competition. But things are changing, right? They've been changing for the last 2, 3, 4 years, and traditional reactionary kind of marketing and brand movement is not going to work anymore. It's already not working, and that's why you see a lot of brands struggling, a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners, they're struggling. And that's because of the way you're identifying your competitors. Now, broadly speaking, there are two different types of competitors, right? And you all know this. This is just like a review of what you know. And then let's see if we can explore something that you never thought about, right? So the two broad categories are direct competitors. Now, these are competitors that are in the market segment that are similar to your brand, your company, maybe similar size. They target the exact same people. They probably provide the exact same products or services or similar products or services. And they are on your radar, right? So that's direct competitors. Then they have indirect competitors, and these are probably bigger stores or bigger brands offering maybe a subset of your products or services. And this could be like Walmart maybe stocking your product, even though they don't specialize in it, and you specialize in your product or service. And these are broadly the two kind of categories. But then what's been happening in the last few years is the concept of disruption coming into every market segment. And that is turning this idea of competition, this idea of competitors upside down, right? So when disruption happens in your market segment or even in another market segment, ultimately, there is always a potential threat that that disruption comes to your doorstep and it impacts you. So you have to start thinking about competition and competitors that are not in these two broad categories, that is direct or indirect. In fact, this could be considered indirect, of course. Technically speaking, these are indirect, but it's much more than that. Let's take an example. If you're looking at the transportation sector, it could be private transport, taxis, public transport. When Uber came in, it disrupted the market, right? So, okay, Uber and then Lyft and, all that, Bolt, and they disrupted the market. They disrupted the target market, which was the transport sector's target market. But then what happened when that proliferated, when that gained momentum and it became ubiquitous? What then happened was Uber Eats, right? So Uber Eats was a change in that disruption, almost like a mutation of that disruption, that then suddenly started affecting the food and beverage sector. And those, of course, that jumped on that trend, leveraged it, were bold enough to see it and change their business models, they were okay. But those who stuck to their traditional kind of thinking, saying, "Oh, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. We have legacy, and I'm proud of our legacy. We've been doing this forever. We are second generation, third generation owning this business. We are going to stick to this." They started to suffer, right? And I mean, there's nothing wrong with sitting on legacy. And in fact, I advocate legacy quite a lot. And if, when I'm working with clients, if I'm creating a strategy for a client that has some legacy, that has some mileage on when they were established, actually, we do focus on taking that legacy and, building on top of that. But legacy doesn't mean that you are not waking up to trends or waking up to the potential threat of what might happen in your market segment, right? So look at technology. Technology is the biggest threat to your business. Yep. So it's not even a competitor. It's just a threat, because technology can disrupt your market segment. Technology can create new competitors. So when we work with clients and when we are creating their strategies, when we look at the competitive analysis, there's only so much we can do because of the time limit, the scope of the project, the budget, and so on. So we do identify, we give some pointers to say, okay, look, these are potential threats that you may want to keep an eye on. But we also tell our clients and say, listen, spend at least a day every month, right? Take one day every month and focus on looking at what's happening in the technology sector. Day, 2 days, it could be every month, every fortnight, every week. Just look at what's happening, not just within your market segment, which is important, but also in the outside world, and look at it with a critical eye. So you got to do some critical thinking and say, can this affect us? How would it affect us? Keep an eye on the news, technology news. Apple may be coming up with Apple glasses, right? It's something that has been rumors for quite a long time. So you got Apple glasses, you got augmented reality. Then think, how would that affect my business? Maybe I sell, pens, right? Would that affect my business? Is there a possibility? So of course, it requires critical thinking. And you can develop that critical thinking by paying attention. It's boring. It's probably a little hard, but you got to do it. So on the one hand, you should be thinking, why should our clients, our customers buy from us, right? Are we top of mind? Are we building a brand? Am I building a brand that is aligning with my customers? That's one kind of huge piece of the puzzle. So you're building a brand based on the question, why should they care? Why should they buy from us, right? Why? Yeah, maybe we believe that we have a better product. Everyone believes that they have a better product. Or most people believe that they have a better product. And those who don't have a better product will try and say that they have a better product, right? No one's going to say, oh, well, yeah, we have a mediocre product. No one says that. So it's not enough to have a better product or think that you have a better product. It's not enough to have marketing campaigns. No, it has to go beyond that, right? Okay, so that's on one hand. And then the other hand is to say, how can I actually benefit from disruptions happening within our market segment? You got to be quick. You got to be agile. And that is the benefit you have as opposed to big brands. You as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, you and your partners, of course, it doesn't matter what size the team you have. You may have 20 employees. You may have 2. I'm talking about really big ones, 200. Maybe even 200 could be considered small, right? No, but that is the advantage of being a small business owner, an entrepreneur, is that you can be agile. You can change your business model overnight, right? If you keep your costs down, if you keep your overheads down, and you're not spending money on untested and marketing, simply throwing money at Facebook adverts or Google adverts, if you're not doing that and you're controlling your expenses and you have a good kind of profit ratio, then you gotta be sort of, profit ratios and things like that. Those are fundamental to business. But you can then sort of pivot. You can change your business model. If your delivery is in one path and you see that there might be a disruption happening elsewhere, then you can start to quickly say, how could I leverage that? So technology is your competitor. Technology is a threat, but it could also be a gift. So to those who are awake and they're looking at the market segment with a critical eye, technology is a boon, is a gift. So what am I really saying at the end of the day? I'm saying that competitive analysis is very critical, but not just about what are they charging, what is my competition charging, so I could charge less. That is the wrong way to go about it. Do not get into that. Let them charge less. It's okay. Yes, you will be losing business. Think of the value you can increase for your customers, not decreasing your prices, increasing your value, keeping your prices the same, fair, that you think that your product or service is worth, right? Maybe even increasing your prices when the market is when your competitors, direct competitors, are reducing their prices because they're trying to have a price war. Then you need to think about, how can I increase my prices? Not just increasing the prices, keeping the product same or service same, right? No. So you start working on increasing the value and then increasing the prices. You know what they say, if you see the herd running one way, it pays to also look and say, you know what, is there any other way? Because you don't want to be caught up in that stampede. Yeah, and the crowd is probably not always right. Just because the herd is running that way doesn't mean that there's safety there, right? You got to be critical. You got to be analytical in your thinking and look at disruption, technology, what's happening in your market segment, what's happening outside your market segment, what is happening in a market segment that might have an effect, an impact on, what's happening in your sector, right? Okay. Now, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and if you thought this topic was a little, irrelevant to small business owner, let me know, right? Let me know why. But if you have questions, if this has helped you, it sparked a thought process. Because look, this is not about scaremongering or, trying to say, oh my God. No, this is about helping you just get that spark, right? Because my creed is awaken your brand. And to awaken, these little sparks help. My intention is that. So if you have questions, if this has started making you think, then let me know. And, I'll try and answer. All right. So till the next video, keep building your brand, prosper, and I will see you then. All right. Take care.